Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It just seems like every single day there's something new, something amazing that takes place. And today we found out that within a week, the Mueller probe is done. The Mueller probe, when CNN is saying, yeah, the Mueller probe's going to be given to the Justice Department by next week. When CNN is saying that, it's pretty much the end of the line for the Democratic Party. Pretty much the end of the line. When CNN is saying that the Mueller probe is going to be done by next week, 2 years worth. And by the way, there were people who thought that the Mueller probe would never end. Now, of course, I'm usually overzealous, but I knew it wasn't going to go into his second term or into 2020. It shouldn't even have influenced the midterms. But Democrats got away with a lot. They kept getting away with a lot. Ram Lafara, thank you. Thank you as always for your kind words and for watching. And so, ladies and gentlemen, share this on social media. If you happen to have social media, I am, thank goodness, no longer on Twitter or Facebook or any other social media aside from YouTube. And I do have my BitChute channel. Justice Department preparing for Mueller report in coming days. To my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to rock these live streams. When the Washington Post is saying, Justice Department officials are preparing for the end of the special counsel Mueller. Yeah! It makes me just want to flip this table over. Makes me want to do it like an old WWF segment. Oh, yeah! Justice Department officials preparing for the end of special counsel Robert S. Mueller III's nearly 2-year investigation into Russian interference, the most absurd, nonsensical, irrational investigation, the only investigation in history without a predicate crime. Trump is not accused of hacking the DNC. He's not accused of providing any information to Putin. He's not accused of anything. If someone came to your work tomorrow and said, you know what, and the boss said to you, we're going to have to let you go, and by the way, the police are here. And you asked, what? What do you mean the police are here? For what? What did I do wrong? Oh, Bob, who sits in the cubicle near you, he purchased a dossier, said that you stole a bunch of money and that bodily fluids were, shall we say, descending upon you. And we're going to have to terminate your employment, and we're going to have to just let you go. Sorry. It says in the dossier. What? You let Bob purchase a dossier? You let Bob purchase it? I don't even like, I know Bob hates me. Sorry. Bob purchased a dossier, and the FBI was very suspicious. Bob was suspicious. Everyone was suspicious. Meanwhile, Bob sold 20% of U.S. uranium capacity to Russia as money flowed into his foundation. Oh, I'm sorry. Bob presided over the sale. Loyalists, part of a committee on foreign investment, allowed it to take place. But I digress. You know where I'm going with this. They fabricated an investigation for 2 years. I continue to repeat myself. I never stop repeating myself. Why? Because it's therapy. I had to listen to this for 2 years. 2 years. We're going to get him now. and we're going to get him. It's different with Clinton. See, I was right all along about Clinton. She'll eventually get indicted. She did commit major violations of the law, but they covered it up. James Comey said, oh, yeah, legal statutes. I can read you the exact quote. Here's the exact quote. You want the exact quote? Here's the exact quote. I'm going to get this quote right now. You better believe it. For example, 7 email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special access program level. And how did she get that on her server? What, through messenger pigeon? How did she do it? Through a floppy disk? How did she do it? Through America Online? How did she do it? For example, 7 email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special access program level when they were sent and received. These chains involved Secretary Clinton both sending emails about those matters and receiving emails from others about the same matters. There is evidence to support a conclusion that any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position or in the position of those government employees with whom she was corresponding about these matters should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation. So any reasonable person should have known that she was obviously doing something illegal. Then Comey said, although there's evidence of potential violations of the statutes, there's no evidence of potential violations regarding Trump's actions. None. He didn't purchase Manafort's ostrich skin jacket. That was all Manafort's bad fashion sense. You paid $20,000 for a jacket. Looks like you bought it at Target. S. Sadovorian. HA, have you considered tutoring sessions? And if so, what would be the hourly rate? Sessions. Oh, my goodness. He's recused himself from life, this guy. Sessions. Thank you. S. Sadovorian. Thank you. Michael Harper. Michelle Harper. Michelle, how are you? Have you heard about Michael Flynn and the... If so, your thoughts on it? Yeah, I am against giving any technology, really to anyone. My thoughts are the interesting thing is, which I'm pushing. This is what a report says. But it's interesting, that country, and I can't even say the name because it's like against YouTube policies, and I'm not even joking. You're talking about millions upon millions upon millions in Clinton Foundation donations. And then they just try to get Flynn. Like, so it's I have a whole lot on that. I don't think there's much to it, Michelle. I don't think there's much to it because they're trying any possible way to get Trump, and everything they're getting Trump on links to Clinton, or any accusation links to Clinton. Michelle Harper, thank you. S. Sadovorian, thank you. I just think that if it was an issue to work with that country, then Clinton would never have been, well, they would never have cheated for Clinton. But here we have, so thank you, Michelle. Here we have Justice Department officials are preparing for the end of the special counsel Robert Mueller's nearly 2-year investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election without ever showing the country the Facebook ads that flipped votes, without ever explaining to the country how many people had their votes altered, without ever explaining to the country which states gave Trump the election because she won the popular vote, without ever explaining to the country with which Twitter bots, which Facebook ads had the most shares, which Twitter bots were the most effective. This is all in the ether, just this vague accusations, interference, contact, suspicion, the most vague, benign, yet intriguing words that lead to questions and dots connected. But but Uranium One gave millions into the Clinton Foundation and then got 20% of U.S. uranium capacity. You can't connect those dots. How dare you? It's been debunked. Everything has been. You can't connect any of those dots. How dare you even try? Oh, there's a lot of dots to connect on a bunch of other stories, but you can't connect them because if you do, you're a really bad, horrible person. So, the special counsel's investigation. I love when they're like, so special counsel Mueller. I love those special counsel Mueller. That's like special counsel Robert Mueller. They're so proud of themselves. They won't have that anymore. He's done. Now they're going to find out why the Steele dossier, a bunch of nonsense was used, and CrowdStrike, a third-party tech firm, was used as the basis for all of this nonsense, and all of it was purchased and outsourced by Hillary Clinton. They paid for their own investigation for 2 years. Must be nice. Must be nice. You don't like someone, you just pay the cops to investigate them. Must be nice. And the thing with Trump is that he doesn't even have to make anything up. The great thing, like, Trump is in the driver's seat now because he's just like, it's payback time. It's the James Brown song, The Big Payback. I love James Brown. It's the James Brown song. It's going to be the big payback. And, it's like, what have they done? What have they achieved? What have they achieved after 2 years of this nonsense? What have they achieved after 2 years? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. They haven't achieved anything. They haven't achieved anything. So now let's continue reading. So regulation calls for Mueller to submit to the Attorney General a confidential explanation as to why he decided to charge certain individuals, as well as who else he investigated and why he decided not to charge those people. In other words, he's going to explain why he did not indict President Trump, because there was nothing to indict. He didn't do anything wrong. 2019 does rock. I mean, it's like 2019 is the ultimate in vindication. And think about it this way. Sessions is gone. Rosenstein is gone. The Mueller probe is gone. And now you have the low-hanging fruit. Now you will have investigations into actual crimes committed by Hillary Clinton. Actual crimes. With legal statutes. With Clinton actually committing numerous crimes. I mean, pick a crime, any crime. Just pick a crime. You can just pick a crime. You don't even have to, just pick whichever crime you want. Pick whichever crime you want to pick. Campaign finance? Okay, there you go. Campaign finance violations. Good evening. Hello. It's so surreal that people are like, what? You mean we don't have to listen to this for 50 more years of our lives? This is amazing. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. We don't have to listen to this forever. And they're getting a report, ladies and gentlemen, that Mueller does not have to give to the public. This is how hilarious all of this is. Do you want to know how hilarious all of this is? Okay. 2 years. He doesn't indict Trump on anything because there's no laws that he broke. Because there was never any accusation. The fantasy and the nonsensical, irrational, bogus narrative was that, well, Trump must have been involved. And there must have been a lot of communication because it served Russia's interests to harm Hillary Clinton's campaign. Yet there's no evidence that Russia even feared Hillary Clinton. Why would you fear Clinton when her husband, Bill, is friends with Putin, actually met with Vladimir Putin at his home? And then you have the Washington Post. An advisor to President Trump said there is palpable concern among the president's inner circle that the report might contain information that Trump and his team is politically that Trump and his that about Trump and his team that's politically damaging, but not criminal conduct. But not criminal conduct. Okay, there is information right now regarding criminal conduct of Clinton. No criminal conduct of Trump. Lyle Budd. Task Mueller the exact same question on Hillbilly. Revenge is best served cold. Revenge is best served cold, warm, hot, any temperature. Lyle Budd, thank you. And it's just so amazing. Like, and if you look at Twitter, all the Hillary supporters and all the Democrats, they're like, well, Mueller has planned this all along. They can't admit defeat, just like they couldn't even at Jacob Javits Center. They're like, what should we do? What can we do? If you just look now, it's like they can't admit defeat. So they're like, well, of course Mueller is the Mueller report. Mueller knew that he was leaving anyway. And now they're spinning it like they're happy. Yay, it's coming out. Like, no, we know you're not happy. We know you're not happy. It's like they're spinning it like, yeah, this is our time to shine. It's like, no, actually, no, we know that you don't want this to end. We know that you don't want this to end. I mean, that's really hilarious. I mean, think about how hilarious that is. Think about how hilarious that is. They're spinning it on Twitter like the Mueller report. Like the Mueller, like Trump is really scared. Oh my God. You have the saddest memes. Then they think they're like so tough. It's like Mueller looking tough. And then there's just this word hi. Like, oh, he's so tough. Like, what has he done? How has he protected the country? When they talk about how the country is divided, it's Democrats who have divided the country because they can't stand losing. It's like if you won a football game and then they slashed your tires after the football game, the opposing team. It's just like if you played a game of checkers and like the person you played against and you beat him and he threw hot coffee in your face. And then Democrats like, Trump is so divisive. It's like, no, you have not given the guy a chance to breathe. Everything he does is magnified, and it's hurting you. I mean, there's different cases now. I mean, we can look at you don't even have to think hard of Trump derangement syndrome leading to really pathetic, hilarious, but really pathetic and sad outcomes. One actor just ruined his entire life. And then they're like, Bezos says Amazon drones ready to deliver Mueller report to every American household. Well, if that's the case, make sure you don't deliver one to AOC. She doesn't want it. But it won't be a report that he writes. It'll be a summary of the report. Did you know that, by the way? They're convincing themselves on Twitter They are convincing themselves on Twitter. Thank God I'm not on Twitter. Thank God. They're like, yes, it's finally here. It's like, no, every every Trump supporter on the planet is like, yes, it's finally here. Thank God. Can we end this nonsense? If Trump doesn't get indicted, he's not getting indicted. They would have indicted Trump. He didn't even get the interview. There was no reason for an interview. There was no reason for a probe. There was nothing. There was no obstruction of justice. There was nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. It'll exonerate Trump. Uh, Inherent in the release is the exoneration of Trump. Inherent in the release. Inherent in the release is an exoneration. If you release a report, without indicting Trump, then there you go. Mitchell Smith, thank you so very much as always. KB, thank you for the kind words. Mitchell Smith, as always, thank you, Mitchell. In a CBS interview, the statement made by McCabe that jolted me was his admission that the FBI told, yeah, see, that's interesting. Trey Gowdy, in one of his nicer moments, actually responded to that. Okay, those like McConnell and Ryan and those people within that inner circle of Republicans and Democrats, they're bound by law. They cannot leak whatever has been told to them. So they don't know, like, we don't know if I mean, the Democrats, 4 Democrats, 4 Republicans. So obviously the Democrats were fine with it. Okay. And Bob Menendez is on. This is hilarious. This guy's like had numerous legal trials and everything. This is hilarious. Chuck Schumer, obviously. But then there's Rubio. John McCain was on it. Oh, that's the immigration. Sorry. Getting intelligence. Devin Nunes was on it. Mitch McConnell. They say Paul. Wait, hold on. I might be looking at it wrong. Anyway, Mitchell Smith. We told McConnell and Paul Ryan about the counterintelligence, and see that could be a lie. I mean, you're talking about somebody who's lied under oath 3 times. So he's only doing. He even stated that he wanted a special counsel for Clinton. So you're talking about a guy who knows that he's going to get indicted. We don't know. We have no clue. The reason he brought that up is because he wanted to say, well, we let everybody know, including Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan. So, meaning like, oh, well, they knew about it. Yeah, but they're not allowed to tell Trump or anyone. So that doesn't mean just because they're told something doesn't mean, and if they told Trump, then it would be a big fiasco then. Number one, McCabe had no right to investigate Trump because with the logic McCabe used, he should have investigated Clinton. But he leaked information to the New York Times for self-serving purposes, then lied about it with intent. This is what the IG report stated. IG report faults fired FBI official for leak to media. Andrew McCabe. So Then he's like, oh, I was fired because I opened a case against the president. No, you opened a case against the president because you engaged in wrongdoing and criminal behavior. And you opened the case against the president to then hide your tracks, to cover your tracks. That's exactly why they opened the case into the president. That's exactly why. Because you knew that there was nothing going on. And internal DOJ report to fault Andrew McCabe for media leaks. Among the alleged leaks is reported to a Wall Street Journal story about the FBI investigation into former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's private email server. Then they're like, and then there was one about the Clinton Foundation probes. Then people are like, you see, he was objective. He was investigating the Clinton Foundation. No, that's not objectivity. That's barely doing your job. If he was objective, he would have indicted people. He would have recommended or pushed for, well, no, it's the FBI can't. He would have given evidence to the DOJ, and that's it. What they did was, it was a failed cover-up. That's what all of this is, ladies and gentlemen. It's a failed cover-up. So, Mitchell Smith, thank you. But that's another lie from McCabe. Thank you, Mitchell Smith, as always. McCabe had to say that because nobody believes him, number one. Number two, he's taking the fall for James Comey and Rosenstein. James Comey has stated, I never let McCabe leak information to the Wall Street Journal. McCabe said, Comey allowed me to leak information to the Wall Street Journal. Rosenstein said, I never talked about using the 25th Amendment. McCabe said, Rosenstein talked about using the 25th Amendment. So now he has to say, well, I conducted an investigation and I was the hero in all of this. And I think Trump could be a Russian plant. And, Congress knew. No, Congress didn't know. And who cares if he told the Gang of Eight? He should have told the president. Because the president was not directly implicated in any accusation. All of this was supposed to be Trump's contacts. Trump's campaign officials' ties or contacts. There's not been one shred of evidence. There's a mountain of evidence. There's a Mount Everest of evidence regarding Clinton. Not one shred of evidence that Trump did anything wrong because he didn't need to. In 2015, I said she would lose. She was unelectable. She lost. This is before I found out that she cheated Bernie Sanders. Which, by the way, they're doing the same thing over again. The beginning of, and this is starting in the beginning of 2019. They're doing the same thing over again. They're hating on Bernie Sanders, which Bernie has brought onto himself. But look, he made $6 million. It's all going to go to the DNC. It's like a 1% chance. Like, whereas I was certain, or like, I knew he'd win the Democratic primary, which I was right about. He would have won. And I believe he would have won with a united Democratic Party. Democrats would have won states they had won for decades. But thank God Trump won. I'm glad that Trump won, and I'm voting for Trump in 2020. But they're hating on Bernie already. Twitter is going to be a nasty place. Not that I care, because I'm not defending Bernie Sanders, because I feel that he's backstabbed a lot of people, especially all the people who gave money, lots of money. But they're already hating on him, and it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting to see. They're doing the same thing over again. They're doing the same thing over again. They're hating on him, and they're calling him racist. They're calling him a sexist. They're calling him all of these things. It doesn't ever stop. Do you understand? It doesn't ever stop. And they don't realize, like, Russia is not sowing division into the country. No, we were already more than divided. Even with the Democratic Party is not just divided, it's fractured into tiny groups that all hate each other. The Justice, warriors, they hate the Bernie Sanders voters, and both of them hate the establishment Democrats, and the establishment Democrats hate both of them. And then you have the anarchists and the socialists who, hate dislike the Bernie voters and dislike the establishment, but are a cooler, more hip version. They're all different. They're all different factions. And the media is utilizing Bernie Sanders because they know they know he's almost certainly not going to win. He's not a threat anymore. That's the thing. When he was a threat, he was getting it from the Washington Post, from Vox, from everywhere. And I was there when he was when I was like the only person on the left. My articles were going viral. People were telling me like HA, you're giving us hope and there's some sanity there. And at that moment in time, I was on the right side of history, but I didn't realize that I was getting deceived and I was getting played. Now I'm on the right side of history, and then, of course, it's still not good enough for all the same people who didn't like me back then. I want Americans home I want American soldiers back with their sons and their daughters and their wives and their husbands and their fathers and their mothers. I want American soldiers home for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, for New Year's with their families. That's what drives me. And believe me, it's funny. Like, can I tell you something? Watching old H.A. Goodman videos are hilarious for me. You know what I was watching before this? I was watching a video with David Pakman interviewing me and us discussing and I had it right. Bernie essentially won Iowa. I said if he wins Iowa, he's going to win Iowa, New Hampshire. And I even said, look, I might be overzealous. That's hilarious. The old videos of me, I was like, Bernie, don't give up. Please, FBI. Please, FBI. Do what's right. Look at the evidence. I know you will. Meanwhile, Strzok is like, Strzok and Page and McCabe and Comey. I was so naive back then. The FBI wouldn't be partisan. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Actually, I'm getting a haircut, everybody. This is way too long. This is way, way too long. So yeah, they're doing the same thing over again, and it's like what happens when Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and others adopt Bernie Sanders' message or policies? Then what happens to Bernie? So that's another thing. It's kind of like the Spider-Man thing, like me, you, me, what? That meme. But look. What happens, ladies and gentlemen? You have to be here the day that investigations take place on Peter Strzok, on Clinton, on the uranium deal, on all of those things. You have to be here. It's going to be in the next couple weeks or so, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be in the next couple weeks or so. Because after the Mueller probe, look, the Mueller probe ending is like the end of a sad, pathetic Democratic Party nightmare. I mean, 2 years for what? What did we gain? Okay, so you taught Manafort a lesson on never to buy an ostrich feather a skin jacket. Okay, he'll never do that again. Wow, you've really protected the country. Facebook and Twitter are even more vile. They're even more unhealthy. I love this. They can't, this people on the left, they can't get over the fact that it's going to end. They can't get over the fact it's going to end. So Mitchell Smith, even if McCabe told them, which might be a lie, it depends on what he told them, and they're bound by protocol not to tell anybody. Wasted a lot of money, exactly. William Barr, by the way, has he has full discretion. He has full discretion. Trump says the release of the Mueller report will be totally up to new AG Barr. So he has full discretion. I mean, that's hilarious. I mean, how hilarious is that? How funny is that? Honestly, how funny is that? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. You have a situation where Justice Department preparing for Mueller report as early as next week, and it's totally up to it is. You have a new sheriff in town. You have a new attorney general. What are they going to do? I mean, and where are all the people talking about? Oh yeah, what is MSNBC and CNN going to do from now on? And I'm calling this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm calling this to the almost 500 people watching. I'm calling this right now. Remember, I said this. You are going to see media turn on Clinton and Democrats when the DOJ begins formal investigations and hopefully a special counsel. Ronald, basically, this is the synopsis of the past 40 minutes or so. 2 years, all we have is a Mueller report that will be a summary from William Barr. It won't even be the full Mueller report. He's going to explain why he didn't indict Trump on obstruction of justice or collusion or whatever, fraud, because there's no evidence. And there was nothing to indict Trump over anyway. Truly progressive. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. But I mean, that's the thing, it's like they have nothing. They have nothing. They just have nothing. They've waited 2 years. They've waited 2 years. 2 years. No evidence, no nothing. 2 years. And it's like, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? Of course, the Mueller report will be seen by House Democrats as another way to investigate Trump, but the House of Representatives really can't do anything. Honestly, they rely on the Justice Department, and the Justice Department is now going after the FBI agents that started this nonsense based on Clinton purchased dossiers. So, I mean, the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I mean, this channel, my voice, your voice, everything you've been saying, everything I've been saying, we are all going to be vindicated. Clinton will eventually get indicted, not because of justice, because you can't commit that many crimes, okay? You can't do that. It just is not, You can't overtly commit so many crimes: campaign finance, Clinton Foundation bribery, racketeering, a Clinton email espionage act laws. I mean, it's just too many crimes. It's just too many crimes. And then you fabricate Trump Russia. You completely make up, you purchase your own investigation through the Steele dossier and CrowdStrike. The US government doesn't have any hard evidence that it's derived. It has not derived any evidence on its own. I think that at the end of the day, you're going to find out, you're going to see investigations he's already stated, and you're going to see, look, indictments. Look, once you indict McCabe will get indicted eventually. And he's not that sympathetic. He's not sympathetic at all of a figure. Like, the left is trying to embrace, like, they kind of tried to initially embrace Comey, and they did. Then they realized he's so slithery and slimy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let me see if this is actually. Wow. Jesse Smollett charged with felony. Jesse Smollett faces felony criminal charge for falsely reporting. Wow. He's been charged. Wow. He's been charged with a crime. Wow. Faces felony criminal charge for falsely reporting alleged. Wow. 18 minutes ago, charged with felony, CNN. Whoa, that was fast. Well, I mean, not really much you could do. If you have two trainers, you got two of your trainers. These guys are like super buff. Pay him like, what was it, four grand each for $3,000? And then the police went after them. They're like, look, here's the information. We're out. Wow. Oh my God. Charged with felony. Charged with filing false police report. Charged for faking his own assault. Wow. And now the media is going to pretend like they weren't basically pushing the whole thing, which they did. Wow. Now it's not even just like new evidence suggests. It's like he is charged. Charged. Oh my God. Oh my God. Grand jury heard evidence. A grand jury heard evidence. Oh my God. He's going to prison. Oh my God. New York Times. Oh my God. Wow. CNN. Wow. Trump derangement syndrome. It's even hurting couples. Honestly, at what point does Trump, and then you got $250 million from the high school student, I guess. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to go to prison for TDS? TDS is now a disease. For TDS, $250 million in prison. He's going. Paul, that's funny. Oh my God. Trump derangement syndrome. Is it worth it? You don't have anything better. He's like, I go hard on 43. I went after 43. Or no, sorry, 45. Wow, only the beginning. And then the Washington Post like, we're gonna win. It's like, I don't know about that. You go after an underage person, different story. Totally different story. I was just reading the legal trouble that could face if police found out it was a hoax. And now he's been, oh my God. Trump derangement syndrome. They are going actively jumping into prison. Do you understand how much do you understand what Trump has done to people? It's like you're wealthy, you're rich, okay? You're wealthy, you have a great life, you're an actor. Why do you have to do this to try to hurt the country and divide the country? That's when Democrats are like, Trump is so divisive. No, he's not going to jail. He's not even going to getting indicted for what you thought he did with stupid Facebook ads. Okay, net worth. Let's see here. I'm going to cry if. Okay, not that much. Whatever. $500,000 is still way more than most Americans. Oh my God. He was making $360,000 on Empire, $20,000 per episode in 2016. I mean, really? You had to do this to try to like harm every Trump supporter on the planet for what? Rob Reiner wasn't gonna save you. Okay, you making 360,000 from Empire? Wow. I mean, 20 grand per episode. It's wow. You talk about making bad life choices. Oh my God, please let it be linked to a Democratic politician. Please, God, please. That would be so amazing. Like, and he's like, and then Clinton indicted the next day. Like, you'd see like me, like my face in the background, with like, like lights flash, like, flames flashing behind me. Oh my God. 20 grand an episode and you got to do this? I mean, whatever, even if it was no money, I'm just saying, like, why? Why? 18 episodes per year. That's about an average salary of $360,000. You make 360 grand a year, and now you got to go to prison. Oh my God. This is crazy. I can't believe, and it's like, look, I'm focusing on stupid things. I mean, the harm, like, let's say this fabricated thing like actually happened. Like, everybody was so quick. Oh, let's insult Trump supporters. That they're full of hate. Oh, that's not true. It didn't happen. And just like in the middle of the night in Chicago in the winter, I mean, talking like 20 degrees. I mean, 20 degrees, 30 degrees is cold. Cold. Cold as ice. But you get below 30 and then 20, 10 degrees with the wind. They said it was negative. It cold as ice. Four degrees that night. I mean, 4 degrees. I mean, my God. Oh my God. 20 degrees. I mean, this is a situation that is just, wow. I'm at a loss for words. Charged with felony disorderly conduct. And the FBI was involved, and oh my God. Wow. This is the New York Times. Charged for faking his own assault. Oh my God almighty. You try to use the zeitgeist. I'm telling you, Trump derangement syndrome is working better than ever. It's working better than ever. I mean, between the Mueller probe and the $250 million lawsuit and this, it's like, my God. And wait until we get to the indictments linked to Clinton and then Clinton indictments, and they lose again in 2020. When they lose in 2020 again, oh my God, who knows how they'll react? They'll just implode. Can you recall it? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You're making 20 grand every episode, 360 grand. And then the harm that it did to millions of innocent people who just like to wear the MAGA hat. Suddenly the MAGA hat looks pretty good right now. Oh, Lord. And everyone was like, then we had to listen to what's her name? Will they at least stop for like a day to pontificate? Just stop for a day. It was the Russians, exactly. That's what Joy Reid said. Oh my God. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I'm doing an upload on the breaking news. Check out the upload. All right, everyone. God bless. Thank you so very much. To my super chat, thank you so very much. Oh my God. Eric H526, thank you. My latest one, AK-47, full auto. Check it out. HA Second Amendment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you so very much. Wow. Check the upload in minutes. Thank you.